Well, it's 5 o'clock. Roll call, Mr. Secretary.
Ford,
Present.
Howell,
Yes.
Giovanni,
Here,
and Jones. Here.
I'd entertain now a motion to accept the minutes of the January 8th meeting.
I'll make the motion to
second it.
accept the meeting.
I'll
Second.
Yeah.
All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Well, I can see we're overwhelmed by public comments today. So evidently it's not too hot a topic. Do either of you ladies have any comments that you'd like to make? Limit them to 3 minutes, please. Yes?
I do. Yes, last meeting I mentioned that I wondered why the township had gone from using the Sturgis Journal to announcing in Three Rivers. Well, I've noticed that the Three Rivers Commercial News is not posting electronic copies of the meeting notices, public notices. They're only putting paper print copies. So the general public cannot see what is going on, if there's going to be a meeting or any type of information regarding the township, unless they, one, buy a paper at the local stand or subscribe. And these public notices are supposed to be posted electronically. A new law that Whitmer signed in 2022, they have 72 hours to post the online notice to be compliant with Michigan law. And I don't know if Mr. Thornton, if you are aware of that or know anything maybe that I don't know. It's MCL 6911051. Newspaper definition, publication of notices, duties of newspaper operator. That may be why you don't have a lot of people here tonight, or maybe people, don't know about it, or they weren't gonna show up anyway.
Would the commission like me to respond?
Yes.
In working with the township, we decided to try the Three Rivers Commercial. I was told by the editor of the Three Rivers Commercial that they're posting them electronically as well as in the paper. So, I don't know. I have not myself checked to see if they're being electronically posted or not, but I'm very familiar with the statute that governs publication and what constitutes a generally circulated newspaper in the county. We only have two, the Sturgis Journal and the Three Rivers Commercial. The Sturgis Journal is notoriously difficult to work with as far as getting things right and not messing things up. I spend an inordinate amount of time trying to fix things with the Journal, and that's been the history, which is one of the reasons why we switched to the Three Rivers Commercial. On top of the fact that my personal opinion is there's a lot more in the Three Rivers Commercial paper than there is any more in the Sturgis Journal, but that's just my personal observation.
What's the paper that's the free one that comes out on
Sturgis
Friday?
Sentinel.
Three Rivers, no. the
Penny
Three
Saver?
Rivers one.
Well, I think Three Rivers Commercial puts out a Sturgis.
Yes,
section.
yes,
They do, but they put out a thing that's got the Meyer ad.
The
and
penny saver?
Penny Saver. Well, I cut that out of the Penny Saver, and that's free. So it is available too there, you don't have to buy a paper, you can just pick one of them up. But I was surprised to see it in the Penny Saver, but because it's in the commercial, they must automatically put it in there. And there's other townships that are in there also.
Mhm. Yeah, there is most, as far as I can tell, majority of the townships, villages, cities are now advertising in the Three Rivers Commercial versus the Sturgis Journal.
I have noticed that also, I mean, like full page
Of legal.
legal notices
So,
compared to the journal.
so I was comfortable as township council to have the Three Rivers paper start publishing our notices.
Yes,
I'd like to respond to that. I spoke to the owner, Mike Wilcox, last week because I was concerned that I was not seeing of the Three Rivers commercial news. Because I wasn't finding the online, publication, so I called to ask for guidance on how to use their search tool. Maybe I was doing something wrong. And he told me they do not post electronically. The only one I have seen in there was Village of Matawan. I don't know how they got in there, but he said they don't. So, you know, it's between the township and the commercial news to make sure that, you know, they're producing those publications. They also have to put the publication in michiganpress.gov or something like that, so it can you can go there and search for the public notices. And I've noticed that the Sturgis Journal has posted, and it's gone into that .gov site. So I just wanted to let you know.
I appreciate that. Are you in favor of the Sturgis Journal? You think that's better?
I see a lot more people posting it, like the
That runs contrary to what we're seeing.
Eldorado,
Other
listen to me.
people posting, where they're posting.
St. Joseph County election posted all their election information in the Sturgis Journal, and the most of the villages and townships that I've seen are still posting there. Now, that doesn't, not to say that they're not posting in the other one, but I can't get to the other one to see it, you know. And the Penny Saver, it's great that it's in the Penny Saver, but it has to be a paid paper. So you must buy, in fact, Mr. Wilcox told me I could buy an archive electronic subscription for $20 a year if I wanted to go in and look at it that way. But my point is, you're supposed to be able to see it for free. And I'd just like to see us, you know, go back to making sure that the information is there for people to see.
Are we in compliance, Lance?
As far as I know, from what I've been told, but if the township wants me to check on it, I'll check on it.
Well, I was just kind of letting you know, just as an informational thing, in case you're not aware, you know, I didn't know. So that's all I had to say.
Okay, so I'll talk to Don about it and see what he thinks. I mean, I'm not a fan of the Sturgis Journal with the way it's run. I've run into problems with them in the past, just doing personal things with them, so I don't have a preference other than that which is most economically in the favor of the township, plus what's efficient enough to get the job done. So mention it to Don and see what he says, and we'll report back to us maybe in the next meeting, and we'll just see where the thing goes, and thanks for the information.
Thank you, Jeff.
What I have to say can come at the public hearing comment, so.
You have to, I didn't.
You guys are still having a public hearing
Yes,
for the
we're still having
marijuana
a
thing?
public-
Yeah,
oh.
that's what I,
So you have nothing to say in the public comment section?
No.
Okay. With that, we'll close the public comments. Under new business,
Chuck, can I ask a
yes,
question? So you do have a comment you wanna make?
I was told that you guys are supposed to be having a public hearing about the marijuana ordinance. Is that tonight?
yes.
Yeah,
Well,
that's-
It was actually gonna be last month,
Yeah,
but because the publication didn't get in, although
Yeah.
Lance did all the things required to do it, they just dropped the
Yeah.
ball.
for my public comment is part of that hearing, so I will wait until that
Well,
public
then-
comment for it.
Then we'll keep them open and go right ahead.
Right.
Okay,
So just go ahead and open the public
Yeah.
hearing on the
yep,
ordinance.
that's what I was waiting for.
Yeah.
Since we got all these people here.
Yep.
So, I'll open up the comments for the public
There
hearing,
we go.
and now you can have the
Okay.
floor.
I found a Michigan compiled law under OMA Act, which is the Open Meetings Act, that under the Township Act of that, there is a stipulation in there that says any ordinances put into place is not allowed to supersede state statute. And per state statute, marijuana is legalized. So I don't know if you guys wanna look into that and find out if your ordinance is breaking that or not. Because that is what when I called and spoke to my person at the Attorney General's office, that is what he told me.
Anything else?
Nope.
Would you like to comment on that, Lance?
We're not outlawing marijuana within the township. We're just not zoning for any marijuana facilities. Big difference.
There's lots of things that are zoned that are okay in Michigan, not necessarily the things that we would zone for. That's kind of what we wanna do with our township, correct?
Yep. People can
It's
still-
legal, you can go sit out there and smoke a joint if you want
Sure.
in the township, but we've decided not to have
But you can't
zoning
open a store and sell
to have a store.
it in the township,
And-
which is not in violation of
Right.
any
Okay,
state law.
that clarify for you?
Yes.
Okay. Any other comments about the zoning amendments? That being said, we covered this pretty thoroughly, and I think Rick and Susie and Eric, you've gone through these,
Right.
the recommendations on it. For small business, the marijuana, or lack thereof, and the setback requirements, those are the three items we're covering here.
Right.
Any questions or comments about them from the board?
I don't have any
I don't either. I think I understand it all.
If there's
Yeah,
no questions about it or anything, then I would entertain a motion to approve those, to send them on down to the township board.
I'll give you a motion.
Would the motion include a recommendation to approve the
Yes.
ordinance as drafted at this
Yes.
point?
Okay.
Okay.
I'll second it.
Second. Eric, would you call the vote, please, on it?
Ford,
Yes.
Howe,
Yes.
DiGiovanni,
Yes.
and Jones is a yes. So unanimous.
Opposed? No one? Motion carries. So what we've done is we're sending a recommendation to the township board to approve these sections 34-4, 34-135, 34-163, and 34-284. And we're sending that over to the township as recommended to make the changes.
And before it goes to the township, we'll also, if you would like me to, I will forward it to the county planning commission since it's part of the zoning ordinance.
Right.
That's a step before we get to before the board here in the township looks at it. We send it over there, they take a look and give us any of their opinions as to good, bad, change this, don't change this, looks good to us. But their recommendation is not binding, but it's a requirement that we send it over there and have them take a look.
So when you do that, does that trigger the notification to go to the township, or do we need to redo that and send it over to the township? Because you're saying this has to should preclude what we're saying, we want to adopt the ordinance.
Right, but your recommendation in your motion will still be in the minutes and go to the township board. They just will not act on it
Okay.
until they hear back from the county planning commission.
Okay.
So you'll send it rather than the township
Yeah, but I will need the unapproved minutes.
from tonight.
Because they like those for the fact that they wanna hear what the public comment was.
Okay.
In this case, we don't have a lot of public comment, but they do request the minutes
Okay.
along with the proposed ordinance.
Okay.
So, Eric, if you can email
Yeah,
those to
you'll
me,
take care of that.
I'll forward it on to the planning commission.
Yes, okay.
Any old business that we need to bring up?
No, I don't think there
I
is.
don't know, it's just the master plan, but we're not ready for that.
Yeah, that's the only thing I was thinking too, is that.
If there's no other business to come before the board, then I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None. Motion carries.
Okay.